Okay, I want to welcome everybody to week 4 of DES 105, Page Layout Tools. Again, I am Shannon McNamara, your graphic arts instructor. I can't believe that I say this every week 4, but I really can't believe that we're already to week 4. These mods fly right by. So just a little reminder, my telephone hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time, but you can always email me. Just be aware that I am located in Eastern Standard Time. If you are emailing me late at night, I probably won't get back to you until very early for you in the next morning. I have a couple of announcements to go over. We're going to take a look at our discussion question for this week, and we're also going to do a demo of assignment 4, which is finishing up our newsletter, and then we'll talk about assessment 4 and the career integration quiz. All right, a reminder about due dates for this week. So we have a week 4 discussion in this course, and your original post is due Wednesday at midnight. Also, all late assignments and assessments are due by Friday at midnight. Week 4 assignments cannot be turned in late. I say it every week. If something happens while you are uploading your files for week 4 and you are unable to upload, if something goes wrong, make sure you immediately email me your file. So it is in my email when I get up and grade Sunday morning. If it is not in my email, I'm just going to assume that you did not do it, and you will receive a 0 for week 4. So if something happens while you're uploading, make sure that you email it to me. Also, don't wait until the last minute to upload. The entire school uploads their work Saturday at midnight for the closing out of these courses, not just the graphic arts, the entire college. So in week 4, it tends to bog down the servers a little bit, so you want to make sure that you are getting your work in as soon as possible. Don't wait till the last second. It can take a little bit longer than usual on that final Saturday. Also, if you wanted to redo any of your previous assignments for a higher grade, those redos are due no later than tomorrow at midnight. So our last multi-session will be tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. and those multi-sessions are open for you to come in with any assignment problems, if you have some questions, or if you need some one-on-one tutoring. This gives you ample time during the week to get those assignments done. If you do need some outside help, the Student Success Center is open with tutoring available and no appointment is necessary. So for this week, we're going to continue to work on our newsletter. I'll go over a couple of things that I saw from last week's assignment that were some problem areas. I didn't see a ton of problem areas. You know, if I sent yours back to you and it was incorrect, just make sure that you were watching the full live session, because as you know, last week I did do a full demo of pages 1 and page 4. So I'm going to do the same thing today for pages 2 and pages 3. Again, we'll go over some of those mechanical issues, the master pages, alignment issues, things of that nature. And then we'll go over our discussion, assignment, and assessment in further detail. So again, resubmissions and late work. You can resubmit your revised work until tomorrow at midnight, and you may submit any missing work until Friday at midnight. After that, even if you submit it, it will not count unless you make special arrangements with me. So this means that if you're going to submit late work on Saturday, you need to contact me and set that up with me to let me know what is going on. You need to communicate with me, because if I receive the work on Saturday and you have not communicated with me, I will not grade it, because you're past all of the deadlines at that point. And that's for your late work. Also, if you are resubmitting anything for a higher grade that is due tomorrow at midnight, that is a hard deadline. All right, so let's pop over into the course for a second. Like I said, we had a couple announcements that I wanted to go over. Let's take a look at DJ's hours for this week. So she has hours tonight from 4 to 9 p.m., Wednesday from 7 to 11 p.m., Friday from 6 to 11 p.m., and Saturday from 4 to 10 p.m. So some really good hours for week 4. You know, some really nice late hours. If you do need some extra help, make sure that you are going in and seeing DJ. Also, so finish strong this week. You know, please make sure you get in any outstanding work. If you have gotten some things in that were late over the weekend, I did not get a chance to grade them today, so I will try to do that first thing tomorrow morning. Make sure that you are watching the live sessions and visiting the Student Success Center if you're running into any issues with your final projects. Email me early if you need help. You know, don't wait until Saturday later at night. If you're running into some problems, there's a good chance I'm not going to see your email in time on a Saturday. Make sure you're doing those daily checkpoints each day this week, and you know, have fun with this. We're in graphic design. Graphic design it's challenging, but it's also a really fun program. So, you know, make sure that you're having a good time with what it is that you're doing. All right, so there are readings and videos for this week. Let's scroll all the way down to week 4. So there is the lecture 1. There is a video or a reading on using grids and creating ruler grid guides. Also, there are the videos from the lynda.com student access portal, aligning to a baseline grid, and then layout and composition in InDesign, structuring space. And then there's also an optional video on scale, symmetry, and asymmetry. Yes, as far as if you have any late work from weeks 1 through 3 that have not been submitted yet, after Friday, it will not count. You need to get in touch with me if you have any late work from weeks 1 through 3 that you won't have in before Friday. You need to let me know if you plan on submitting it for Saturday. But the week 4 is still due Saturday at midnight. Yes, correct. You are correct. I was just answering a quick question regarding the late work in the chat. All right, so don't forget about those readings and videos this week. Also, we do have a week 4 discussion, like I was saying. So let's take a look at our discussion for this week, putting InDesign to work. Our objectives are to define how InDesign is used in the field and describe 5 scenarios of when it would be used. So, as we have learned in this course, InDesign is the industry standard for print layout and composition. It is used to create projects such as brochures, magazines, newspapers, advertisements, posters, books, and more. InDesign is also capable of producing static websites, simple to complex animations, interactive forms, and digital publications. There are, in fact, graphic artists that utilize InDesign for just about everything that they do, from print projects we are familiar with to web banners, interactive forms, or EPUBs. Many say InDesign is one of the most powerful tools in the Creative Cloud. So you have now had the opportunity to utilize InDesign to create several projects. Check out this list of mobile apps, and there is a link to the Creative Cloud mobile catalog, paying close attention to the ones that have InDesign as a companion software. So we can take a quick look. It's quite a few. And you can tell if it has InDesign as a companion software because it will show you the InDesign, the ID logo. So Adobe Capture CC does. We have Adobe Comp. And felt like there was one more, but maybe not. And that is it. Right, yeah. So Adobe Comp and Adobe Capture are your two that have InDesign as a companion software, two mobile apps. So for your initial post, choose one of those mobile apps listed and describe what it does and how it integrates with InDesign. Then describe how you could bring the two together and what type of project it creates. Will this knowledge of InDesign's power give you an advantage in obtaining work in this industry? Why or why not? For your citation, you can find articles from experts that suggest how InDesign with current Adobe apps is changing the face of the graphic design industry today. Your initial and reply post should work to develop a group understanding of this topic, challenge each other, build on each other, always be respectful, but discuss this and figure it out together. So the same as all your other weeks, you need your original post of 150 plus words with one APA citation, and then 2 follow-up posts that are 50 plus words. Remember, don't copy and paste, the same post to 2 different people. Make sure that you are submitting your initial post by Wednesday and responding to 2 of your fellow students by Saturday. We're going to look at the assignment last. So let's take a look at the week 4 assessment, which is a final exam. It's worth 35 points and there are 14 questions, which is some weird math, I'm not gonna lie, for 14 into 35. So you need to identify and match 10 basic tools to the description of their use, identify and match 5 InDesign panels to their functions, show or understand how to create a new document in InDesign and insert text frames and images, identify and apply the 4 basic principles of design: contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, define and apply the 5 basic elements of design: shape, line, color, texture, and value. And this quiz is based on weeks 1 through 4's live sessions, readings, and videos. There's a total of 14 questions, and the quiz is not timed. So if you run into a question that you're not 100% sure of, go to a different tab and look it up before, don't just take a guess and don't just fly through the quiz. It's worth 35 points, and 35 points is a lot, at the end of the mod. So be very careful to read the questions, and to help discourage cheating, some questions will seem just like others, but the values have changed or what is asked for has changed. Be sure that you know what the question is asking for and the values to use. Yep, I will show you. It's right on the homepage where to find the readings and videos. If you go back over into the homepage and you go to readings and videos, they are right in there. And you can also find them through modules as well, but the homepage is probably the easiest. So that is your assessment for this week. And then there's also the week 4 career integration, which is worth 15 points. There's 3 questions, and these answers are really important to me. And the reason why is this is where I get a good idea of how everyone liked the class, how everyone felt about my teaching style. And, I really appreciate the feedback that I receive. I'm sure you guys appreciate the feedback that you receive every week. And it's not often that I can receive feedback except through the week 4 career integration quiz. So I really enjoy reading your responses. And there are 3 questions. What did you find the most value from the readings? So those would be the readings and videos from the homepage. And why? What did you find of the most value from the lectures in the course? So those would be my live sessions that I host. And then what did you find of the most value from the assignments in the course? So your responses should be 50 words or more. And if you put something that's too general, such as, I learned how to better prepare for my future career, you really will get less than 3 points per question. So really, take a couple of minutes and answer them. It doesn't take a long time to answer 3 questions, and it is your opinion. But I definitely feel that there's value in your answers. So I do enjoy seeing your answers. All right, so I think that was all of my announcements. We went over the discussion, finding those mobile apps. We went over the assessment and the assignment, where I'll go over the assignment and then I will start up a new video like I do each week, and it will just be in InDesign for those of you who are here live, so that way you can go back and rewatch it. So again, we're continuing our newsletter layout from week 3. You want to make sure that you're utilizing those style sheets correctly that we set up last week. And also you want to remember to correct your mistakes from week 3, because that right there is worth 20 points. And if you didn't have any mistakes, then you've got an automatic 20 points going into week 4. So that's outstanding. And remember, the layout doesn't have to match perfectly, but the tools do have to be used correctly, and the images and the verbiage need to be used correctly and need to be used. So let's take a look at our assignment. We'll go over the assignment and then I'll start up the new video. So this is the newsletter part 2. We are going to be adding in pages 2 and 3 to our newsletter. So you are in the home stretch. That's always awesome to hear. Your pages are created, and now it's time to implement all that you have learned this mod and create a simple, functional, and attractive newsletter. A new tool that you will be working with is learning how to link multiple columns across multiple pages, although I did show you that last week. So we're going to be doing the same exact thing this week. That's why I went over it last week, so that way you kind of had a little bit of time to jump into it and figure it out, so this week would feel a little bit easier for you. This is most definitely a must-know technique, so the designer isn't worried about copy changes a client might make later that affect the flow of the text from page to page. Sometimes a designer will want to have an element that runs on top of another layer or underneath. This is where using the layer stacking order in the layers panel comes into play. Learning these additional tools and implementing your basic knowledge of the principles and elements of design will round out your basic knowledge of page layout design and prepare you for more advanced techniques in your upcoming courses. So for this assignment, you will be continuing the work that you began in week 3. You're going to duplicate the file you created for week 3's assignment and rename it for this week. However, I had you put that assignment together where you could name it week 3 to week 4. If you did do it that way and you just want to keep, working in the same assignment, that is fine. If you want to make a new file, you can also do it that way. I'll kind of show you both ways. I'm really going to leave it up to you. Now, you should have downloaded the articles and photographs last week. This link to download those files, it's the same exact link as last week. So if you already downloaded it, again, that part is fine. You need to use all of the text provided, and you need to use all of the photos that were provided. If you need to adjust your style sheets upon adding actual elements, you may do so, but make the changes within the style sheets themselves. Don't make the changes just within the text boxes, but the style sheets should work. And you are encouraged to follow the general layout from the example so you can focus on learning the tools. When you are finished with your design, we will once again create a package folder. Be sure that there is a quality screen resolution PDF that's included in the package, and then zip the package folder and submit the zip file. So let's take a look at the rubric for this week. 10 points for having the proper file format, which is a zipped package folder. 20 points having it to spec, which is page size, margins, columns, gutters, those being set up correctly in the file and spreads. This should already be set up for last week, so as long as that was correct, then you should be good. Corrections were made per week 3, so go back to my comments to you from last week and make sure that you are correcting that, because that is worth 20 points. Style sheets have been created and utilized correctly. The baseline grid is employed in the body copy sheets. Again, we set up that baseline grid last week. And then all the layouts are professionally created. The photos are proportional, and both the image and text frames are utilized correctly. So that one's worth 40 points. So at the end, you would have a total of 120 points, which is definitely doable this week because we have taken out the, we've kind of taken out the element of creativity from this lesson, which that can kind of be a little bit of a bummer. But at the same time, we're just focusing on adding in the text, adding in the photos, and really it's less things that you need to do this week. And sometimes when you get to week 4, you're like, oh, phew, the less is better. So I'm going to stop this video and I will start up the next one. So for those of you who are here, just carry on doing what you're doing. And for those of you watching at home, please proceed to the next video.